Alright, everybody, time to pack your bag. We're about to get ready to go on our traveling shoes project. We're going to start off by boarding the plane. Your bag should be packed for a good 3-week trip to the south. During this trip, we're going to be viewing historical sites that have to do with the civil rights movement, okay? We're going to be viewing things like Martin Luther King's tombstone, the Selma, the bridge in Selma, just different things. So stick along with me and let's get right into it, all right, y'all? We're going to begin the tour at Martin Luther King's historical site, viewing the birthplace and tombstone of his, where he is actually buried. And next up, we're gonna hop on a bus, not like Rosa, but we're gonna take a big old charter bus and we're gonna head off to Rosa Parks Museum, okay? And here we're gonna be viewing the museum and the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church where Dr. Martin Luther King preached, okay? So this is very important because this is all during the civil rights movement, as all these people are kind of working very closely together. While we're still in Alabama, we're going to go to the 16th Street Baptist Church, which is located at the site of the 1963 bombing that happened. And on a lighter note, we're going to finish up by going to the bridge that hosted the march in Selma, where everyone was marching for, they were marching for the right to vote. And this is the bridge right here. So this is a current picture of the bridge. This is what it looked like when everybody was marching. So pack your bags, and guess what? This is only week one. It's going to get so much more interesting after this. I'm so excited for everybody to go. It's an amazing opportunity. If you're anywhere between the ages of literally 8 to 35, if you like history, if you want to learn something new, this is for you. All right, so join, pack your bags, get ready to go. This is going to be so much fun, y'all.
We will be going over the North Harlem Renaissance and political activism, focusing on African American culture and political history, exploring major northern cities. Themes include the Harlem Renaissance, civil rights, and activism. Let's go. The first place we want to encourage people to visit is the National Museum of African American History and Culture. The National Museum of African American History and Culture is located on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., and holds a deep historical significance as the first and only national museum solely dedicated to African American life, history, and culture. It opened in September 2016 after decades of advocacy and planning. The museum stands as a testament to the resilience, creativity, and impact of Black Americans throughout U.S. history. For African Americans, this museum represents a long overdue national recognition of their central role in shaping the United States and serves as a powerful symbol of identity, pride, and progress. The next place we want to encourage people to visit is Frederick Douglass House. The Frederick Douglass House, also known as Cedar Hill, is located in Washington, D.C., and was the final home of the abolitionist, writer, and statesman Frederick Douglass. It stands as a powerful symbol of African American resilience, activism, and achievement. Douglass purchased the home in 1877, just after Reconstruction, and lived there until his death in 1895. The house, perched on a hill overlooking the Capitol, reflected Douglass's success and status as one of the most influential African Americans of the 19th century. Today, the house is preserved as the Frederick Douglass National Historic Site, managed by the National Park Service. It contains many of Douglass's personal belongings, including his library and writing desk, and often a glimpse into his life beyond the public spotlight. For African Americans, the house is more than a historic building. It is a living monument to Black leadership, literacy, freedom, and the fight for equality. It reminds visitors of Douglass's journey from slavery to becoming a respected global voice for justice, and continues to inspire new generations in the ongoing struggle for civil rights and social groups. The next place we want to encourage people to go to is Mother Bethel's AME Church. Mother Bethel, African American Methodist Episcopal Church, located at 419 South 6th Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, holds a significant place in African American history as the birthplace of the African Methodist Episcopal denomination, the first independent Black denomination in the United States, founded in 1794 by Bishop Richard Allen, a former slave who purchased his freedom. The church was established in response to racial discrimination and experienced by Black congregants at St. George Methodist Episcopal Church after being forced to sit in segregated balconies during services. Allen and others formed the Free American Society in 1787, a mutual aid organization that laid the groundwork for Mother Bethel and broader AME Church. Next, we have the Apollo Theater, located in Harlem, New York City. It's one of the most iconic venues in African American culture history and has played a crucial role in the development of African American music and entertainment. With many major venues to enforce segregation or deny black performers, the Apollo provided a stage exclusively for African American artists to showcase their talent. It became one of the few places where black entertainers could perform an enthusiastic large black audience during the Harlem Renaissance and beyond. The Apollo became a cultural mecca for African American music, especially jazz, soul, gospel, R&B, funk, and hip hop. It helped transform Harlem into the global capital of black culture. Next, we have the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. The Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, located in Harlem, part of the New York Public Library, is a world-renowned institution dedicated to preserving and celebrating the history, culture, and contributions of people of African descent. Founded in 1925 and named after Afro-Puerto Rican scholar Arturo Schomburg, whose vast collection of black historical materials formed its foundation, the center now holds over 11 million items, including rare books, manuscripts, photographs, and artwork. It played a key role in the Harlem Renaissance and continues to support research, education, and community engagement through public programs, exhibitions, and archives. Recognized as a National Historic Landmark, the Schomburg Center remains a vital resource in reclaiming black narratives and fostering global black scholarship. Transportation and costs. Travel between destinations efficiently. The train from DC to Philadelphia will cost $75. A bus from Philadelphia to New York is $30. And the total cost per person is generally $105 to travel. Trip expenses. 7 nights will be $150 per night, so $1,050 for a whole week. And food and fees will generally estimate to $400. Conclusion: explore history and culture.
Okay, so in week 3, we will get to explore Chicago and Los Angeles, going along the Midwest and West Coast while we explore areas of black migration, entertainment, and art. So for our first stop, we're going to be stopping in Chicago. We will get to visit the Deuceable Museum, which was named after John Baptiste. He was the first permanent indigenous settler in Chicago, so that's pretty cool. We will also get to walk through the Bronzeville neighborhood, which was once known as the Black Metropolis, where jazz and other forms of art thrived. So that's going to be pretty interesting. And then after that, we will be traveling to Los Angeles, where we will visit the Watts Tower and Lamont Park, which is in the Black Arts District. We will get to admire the work and just the artistic expression that's on this landmark. The Watts Tower, for one, was constructed by an Italian immigrant by the name of Simon Rodia between 1921 and 1954. And I found this pretty interesting because it was made from discarded materials like steel, glass, and pottery, with the tallest one reaching 99 feet, which is pretty cool and pretty tall. So, pretty excited about that one. And it's going to be a lot of art, a lot of culture, and a lot of hope just expressed within these works. And it just really brought together the community and just showed a different form of art. For transportation, we will be flying from New York to Chicago, which will be $200 per person, and then from Chicago to LA, which will be $250 per person. We'll be staying in hotels for $200 a night for 7 nights, which will round out to about $1,400, and we will be spending $500 on food and entry fees, which is not that bad for like the experience that we're gonna get. Like, it's gonna be so fun. We're gonna get to learn about a bunch of, culture and just see how they, express themselves artistically. We're gonna get to listen to jazz music and just see a bunch of great stuff. So it's gonna be so much fun.